Hello, everybody. This is the Aquarium Medium. Thank you so much for joining me once again. I am coming to you from the hills of Tennessee, and let me tell you, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. This video is going to be about the Pluto return and what it really means for us moving forward into the future, and what it actually means as far as the vitality of the United States and how this return has been building for some time now, since 2008 when it came into Capricorn. Pluto return is so significant, and I want to read to you guys today what it is that I published on my WordPress, on my blog, and go into detail about some of what I've received in the past few days. All right, so let me read this. I titled it, USA Pluto Return Brings Hope to the World Out of Russia. When the United States of America was formed, covert operations with viruses enabled leaders to conquer the states by force. The British secret allegiance to 13 colonies was symbolic for their alleged rebellion in 1776, which has evolved in present day. The future destiny of America has been built on values that supersede an evolved wealth over health game. History repeats itself until humanity learns and rises from past mistakes. Otherwise, the past keeps showing up until a new path is taken. Grown men and women, the Titans and Olympians, fought for 10 years in what has been called the Trojan War. This historic war began with the Trojan horse sending hidden armies inside the barricaded walls of Troy. In the end, the Olympians won the Trojan War, but the classical Greek age of the Olympics continue on in present day without any correlation to past woes. The goal then is the same goal today, which is a desire to conquer nations and rule the universe. What man doesn't consider while on the wheel going nowhere is the way in which his infantile thoughts cannot carry wisdom. He wants to know and understand the secrets of the universe before he's ready to comprehend the invisible wonders of creation. With alchemists leading the world's pharmaceutical industry, it's no surprise the human genome has been tampered with in more ways than one for over 100 years. Testing the human genome, cloning cells, and experimenting with blood types brings chaos to natural systems. Altering DNA and RNA alters instructions of bodily functions. Genome editing is a group of technologies that give scientists the ability to change an organism's DNA. Such war games with human health has ensured the greatest military force on the planet have the latest technology with energy weapons. With nuclear energy comes super electromagnetic pulse weapons. Countries have been working on this technology for decades without the public's knowledge or consent. This internal transformation of energies at work in the world is what the Pluto return is all about. Deception, death, and the ability to transform like a phoenix who rises from the ashes of death. The USA's values seek to destroy itself from the inside out, which is a Plutonian theme for regeneration. Such energetic pulses induce massive earthquakes and the displacement of the Earth's crust. Not only has the USA played with these weapons, but so has Russia and China. Countries have tested their EMP capabilities and then blamed such destruction on natural occurrences. The abuse of power with Plutonian deception continues on. Radioactive pollution from these invisible weapons pollutes the air in which we breathe. It pollutes all living organisms in their environment when there is a release of radioactive substances in the environment. Such a release may come from the sun or during a nuclear explosion when the boys are at play with their nuclear weapons. With all that said, we must turn our attention to the Beijing Olympic Games while the USA Pluto return marches on in transit. Transformation of values within the governing bodies brings not just war, but sickness, death, and regeneration to the monetary system. War brings to the egoic ram power, honor, and creates more power-hungry patriarchal systems. These systems are destined to fail and fall when integrity is lost. What is being hidden from the public is not hidden when truth is sought and underlying factors are considered with due diligence. The chatter and noise over the airwaves brings to the truth seeker distraction after distraction, whereas more division is created. The cycle brings fear and sickness age after age. What is happening today and what is to come has been conveyed throughout cycles of time in each age. Let us now turn our attention to the sleeping prophet, Edgar Cayce. His visions were clear about the chaos on Earth and how the magnetic pole shift would bring balance once again. With this balance, the Sphinx will teach human beings their origin in the cosmos, and the hope of the world, Cayce said, will come out of Russia. The Plutonian leader who is destined to heal the world was born in 1996 and began ushering in his own visions at the young age of 2. The Russian boy claimed that he incarnated to Earth from Mars. He said a nuclear war took place over 1,000 years ago, and the same outcome will come to Earth sooner than later if the world leaders do not change their directions. He claimed there are others like him, and that they are here now, incarnate, to warn Earth, the inhabitants, of a nuclear fallout. Boriska from Russia connects to Edgar Cayce in more ways than one. He also connects in more ways than one to the world leaders, including Joe Biden. We shouldn't be surprised at all, everything that's taking place in the world today, when leaders are able to freely manipulate the elemental and invisible world without wisdom. Humanity is destined to learn the fate of our times past in order to remember our power. Power comes to those who agree in a higher state of consciousness that war never brings peace. An apocalyptic nuclear war is upon us, and the time is now to come together in meditation and prayer for the Earth to hold its position in the cosmos. As the Earth's magnetic poles continue to shift rapidly towards Siberia from Canada, the Earth and its atmosphere accelerates with massive environmental change. Sickness and land displacement are the inevitable consequences for not keeping with the laws of goodness. The entire ecosystem has been out of whack for the last 200 years as man's state of consciousness declines. When the masses work to enslave rather than to liberate, the collective life path falls into chaos. When self-preservation leads to power over others, plagues come quickly. When the masses finally awaken to the horrors and the true state of affairs shows its ugly face, fear will no doubt overwhelm the collective psyche. In a dual world, such fear is needed for the human collective consciousness to rise with courage. With such fears of sickness and the reality as to such dire consequences with energy weapons, human beings have incarnated to Earth at a rapid rate in order to be a witness for the glory of God. When such fears turn into faithful and fateful thoughts towards the invisible Godhead, nations of people rise with their natural energy. This powerful energy has the ability to produce a Shakti so powerful, a new universe is created. The ways in which trial and error befalls and strengthens societies is also a pattern. It's a pattern worthy of news. When massive earthquakes, volcanoes, and plagues enhance, so too shall our consciousness rise. Humanity is here to usher in the spirit of truth so we may rise together and liberate our brethren in the Aquarian age. No longer will the people of the world be divided with creed, race, sex, religion. The people of the free world will come together in unity with diversity to bring a utopian land not even foreseen by the late Sir Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon's New Atlantis was not meant to be a complete novel in the year 1626. It was not meant to consist of more than 46 pages. In aphorism 46 of Bacon's Novum Organum, Bacon comments on the positive and negative instances of an event to which a general proposition about said event is believed. He is quoted as saying, independently of that delight and vanity which I have described, it is the perpetual error of the human intellect to be more moved and excited by affirmatives than by negatives, where it ought properly to hold itself indifferently disposed towards both alike. Indeed, in the establishment of any true axiom, the negative instance is the more forcible of the two. Francis Bacon played a huge role in the establishment of the 13 colonies well before his death in 1626. His visions are still being implemented today, and his scientific role of examination is more widespread than ever. The number 46 was symbolic for Francis Bacon. If we go further in thought, we come to understand that the United States President, Joe Biden, is the 46th president. This is historic when it comes to the Pluto return and the founding fathers who brought chaos to the land. It's also no surprise the 46th Psalm shows the workings of Bacon's handiwork, with the editing of his half-brother's dominion over people's minds and hearts with their greatest accomplishment, the King James Bible. And in this write-up, I leave the reader with a quote of the 46th Psalm. We the people in the United States natal chart, we represent the moon. The moon is the we the people. And anytime a country like the United States, like Ukraine, has a Aquarian moon, it does represent the revolutionary spirits within the people of the land. And we are all so many numbers deep here in order to, like I said, witness the power of God, the glory that is to come. And before all of this glory, is to come collectively, we have to go through certain events. And these events have been foreseen. They have been prophesied for hundreds of years. And there are certain people that are alive today that are being used in the light of darkness. And these events, these dark events and these magical events that are to come have to come. These events will lead humanity, will lead we the people into a more liberated environment where sickness and world leaders are no longer enforcing their will upon us. In order to be free people, we have to liberate ourselves from the enslavement of comfort. And that's really what this Pluto return is all about. Pluto rules the 8th house. It rules the 8th house of death, rebirth, and regeneration. It's an internal power that overcomes death, that overcomes anything that comes its way, because it is an internal, eternal spiritual force. And the time of awakening, the time for reckoning, the time for liberation is upon us. With nuclear capabilities, with energy weapons, the environment is radioactive. In the future, we will not be able to go into a place without firsthand knowledge of how much radiation is there. Radiation is a part of our life now. It is a part of the sickness that is here and that is still to come. Growing food, growing herbs, growing them within a closed system is going to be best. Because again, the environment, the soil, is not going to be good for produce. Boriska from Russia, from Mars, his natal chart speaks for itself. And the ways in which he is connected to the United States, to Vladimir, to Christ, Mars, and Boriska's Jupiter is the same degree. They connect. Boriska connects to the lunar nodes of Joe Biden. He connects to a lot of events that are still to come. Even the event with Ukraine. This is to bring him out of his comfort zone. And what is to come is going to bring all of us out of our comfort zone. And we are going to have to stand peacefully, because there's not ever been a time in history where war brings peace. And eventually, peace is going to reign on earth, just like it's been prophesied to do so. So, not only is the Pluto return today, but Pluto also, at this time, is going over President Biden's sun in the 12th house of Scorpio. There's a lot taking place behind the scenes. And I look at it, and I watch it, and I connect with it all the time. This is one of those times where I feel very strongly that events are about to pick up in the world. Earth changes, war, sickness, like a snowball effect. There are going to be events that are going to take place where we're really unsure if it's real or not. And everything should be questioned. Everything should be questioned, and meditation, prayer, silence is going to be our best bet. It's going to be our best friend, because Psalm 46 is about having no fear and allowing God to be our refuge, our comfort, and our hope. There is always a plan. And there's always a role to play here. And if you don't know which side that you're on, pick the side of freedom and detach from the broken systems of slavery. All right, so that's about all I have for you right now. I'm going to upload some more videos about my house series, but in the meantime, you guys take care, and I will see you very soon. All right.